fight tonight. That fight tonight. You didn't win with your size and your strength. You won it with your skills. That was the most impressive display of skills I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of big fights and big fighters. That was really record-breaking. You deserve to be crowned as pound for pound the best fighter in the world. That's what you are. And you have an unbelievable future ahead of you. Dallas, Texas, the US, the world can be happy to have somebody like you. And I said to the media before, your era has started. It's the Spence era. The Mayweather era has stopped, has ended. It's your time now. It's your era. And there's so many great fights for you out there. And let's go and get them all. Give it up for the IBF welterweight world champion.
Thank everybody for being here. You know, this has been a long training camp, been frustrating, you know, just me. Everybody know I'm like a low-key guy, so I don't really, you know, talk to a lot of media, or if I don't have a fight coming up, you're not going to see me. Or you might just see me at a fight and things like that, but, you know, I'm not on the scene like that. And, you know, it was kind of hard for me because it's something new, trying to sell these pay-per-view buys, because, you know, you got to be more outspoken. You gotta, you know, you got a lot of press obligations. You gotta go out of town and things like that. You know, that was kind of frustrating, especially in the last week of training camp where you're trying to make weight and they got you, you know, keep coming to the stadium, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing that. You know, you just got frustrated. So even at the press conference, I lashed out a lot. And then a lot of people, you know, a lot of so-called experts would write me off saying, you know, Mikey's a smarter boxer, you know, or I can't box, I can't do this, I can't do that. So, you know, tonight I just wanted to show that, you know, I do have, you know, boxing ability. I can box, I can use my jab. You know, I do have high boxing IQ, you know. It's not, you know, it's a reason why, you know, I was an Olympian and had over 30 international competitions and had success on the international level as an amateur. So I just wanted to prove that tonight, and, you know, I think I did that.
Questions?
Are you surprised that he was able to take as much punishment as he did, and also were you surprised that his brother did not stop the fight at some point?
I did hear that they were planning on stopping the fight. His brother was, but you know, Mikey wanted to keep going. You know, Mikey has a lot of heart. You know, I think he prided himself on being, you know, a tough, you know, Mexican fighter. You know, they're born and bred just for, you know, big hearts. So, you know, he didn't want to stop him. And I was kind of surprised he was taking the shots, but then again, you know, he's a veteran. You know, he didn't spar, you know, since a little kid with, you know, top guys, you know, Evan Valero and, you know, other guys. So I knew that, you know, he has good composure, has good fundamentals, and he has good ability. So his defense was on point. So a lot of shots, you know, he started picking off, and I think, you know, in the later rounds, he kind of went in, you know, survival mode and kept just doing enough just to, you know, stand the fight a little bit.
Right over here.
Errol, good afternoon. Congratulations. This is your official coronation as the best boxer in the world, pay-per-view star going forward. How do you rate Mikey now as far as all the opponents that you have faced overall now in your professional career? Where do you rate him as far as difficulty?
I feel like he wasn't difficult at all. You know, I got to credit my coach. You know, just, you know, great game plan. Like, you know, I told people that, you know, they were going to see a different side of me. You know, they were going to see a guy that, you know, did have high boxing IQ. I just felt insulted, you know, just throughout the whole training camp where people were saying that he was smarter than me, and I felt insulted that, you know, a lot of these reporters here was agreeing with him. And, you know, a lot of these, you know, Hall of Fame fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard and other guys was, you know, going for Mikey Garcia when, you know, his own ethnic group was going for him. And top guys like Marquez and other people like that, Marco Antonio Barrera was going for Mikey Garcia, but you got guys like Ray Leonard and Mike Tyson, you know, going for Mikey Garcia or saying Mikey Garcia was gonna win. So, you know, that kind of rubbed me wrong too. But, you know, I rate Mikey. Mikey's still good, man. Mikey didn't go down. He's a great fighter. He showed a lot of heart, you know, just for taking this fight and staying in the fight too. So, you know, it's nothing but respect for Mikey Garcia. You know, I just felt, you know, throughout the whole, you know, press tour and things like that, it was a little bit too arrogant.
Thank you. All right, right here.
Congratulations, Errol. The game plan was so simple, you know, it's almost like a 1-2 the entire night. When you first started to break him down, did you see that right away, or was it something that you worked with Derek on in training camp and kind of watching film, you know, came up with that?
It's something we worked on. You know, it just naturally, I had a longer reach, so, I mean, the fastest way to get to your opponent is with a straight punch, you know, so it's the jab. And that's my lead hand. So we wanted to work off the jab. I've been having a great jab, and we wanted to work off the jab and then break them down from there. So that's what we did. And a lot of times, like a lot of people don't understand, like with game, if you watch Mikey Garcia, like a lot of times he jump in with his punches, or he loads up with his right hand. So an easy step back with a jab can offset that. And that's something that, you know, we just break down and just learned in camp. And, you know, my coach made it to my attention. And, you know, we just followed the game plan and it worked out well.
Errol, was there anything about this fight that did concern you? Like you talked about Mikey being so confident or arrogant. Did it at all, you know, create any kind of doubts in you about what this fight was going to be?
It didn't concern me at all. It actually put a chip on my shoulder. If he wasn't so arrogant, he probably might have caught me off guard a little bit. But, you know, with his arrogance and, you know, his brother and, you know, his brothers and everybody else, and I watch everything on YouTube when I'm fighting my opponent, so when I see people, you know, saying different things and how he's gonna beat me easy, he has more power than me, he's stronger than me, he's faster than me, his footwork's better than me, his boxing IQ is better than me. You know, he put a big chip on my shoulder. He made me really lock in training camp and, you know, do what I did, you know, basically, you know, outclass him.
And similarly, you get Manny Pacquiao to step in the ring, and basically he's a 10 years older version of Mikey Garcia. So can you honestly say, knowing what you know about your own skill, that would be a competitive, good fight?
Well, it's definitely a competitive fight. Like I said, Manny Pacquiao is blood and guts. So that'll definitely be a great fight. He's a future Hall of Famer, and he's on his way out, and I definitely give him that retirement check that he didn't need.
Mr. Spence, congratulations on your victory tonight. I'd like to know, I'm probably one of the few in here that gave Garcia the second and the third round. Coming into the fourth round, it seemed like you exhibited all that pissed offness that you share, and then just went to destroying this guy. What was different coming out from the third round to the fourth round?
I'm just working off the game, man. I mean, we wanted to fill him out through the rounds and, you know, see how he was going to come. And then the fourth round, I feel like I could get him. But I didn't get him in the fourth round, so I, you know, went back to throwing my jab and picking him off. And then I tried to go get him again. And, you know, I just couldn't get him out of there. So, you know, I tried to press on the gas, but, you know, it wasn't a man down tonight.
In that seventh and eighth round, that's when you really tried to put it to him. It looked like you was really trying to dig deep with body punches.
Yeah, I was trying to stop him with either his corner to stop the fight, but they wasn't budging. I was like, damn.
Errol, congratulations, tremendous performance from you tonight. If you can't get Manny Pacquiao, and you know he says he's going to fight in July. I'm not sure if he'll fight you or somebody else.
I'm ready in July.
You ready in July? Right. Well, if you can't get Manny Pacquiao, and it's obviously going to be probably more his call necessarily.
We'll smoke Sean too.
Say again?
I'll smoke Sean too.
Well, I was going to ask you. So, if you can't get Manny next, is it Porter that you want? Is it Thurman that you want?
Definitely. I went in the ring and called out Sean Porter when he fought Danny Garcia. He said it was an easy fight to be made, and then next thing you know, he's fighting his mandatory. So I mean, Ugas is a tough fighter. He's a great Cuban fighter, but you know he could have bypassed that and you know unified, but you know he didn't want that. So I fought Mikey Garcia, which you know turned out to be good. So you know, Manny Pacquiao don't want to fight, then you know I get him that smoke that he been asking for.
What about Thurman?
Thurman said we're not fighting 2020, so I don't know about Thurman.
Errol, we're just saying it's your time now. Just think back, you know, what you've gone through, and to be now the best boxer in the fight, best pound for pound boxing fight. What's your thoughts on just where you've come and where you are now?
I'm just humble, man. It's been a lot of, you know, hard work and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of times, you know, running by myself and, you know, just going to the gym with my dad. And, you know, for me, you know, I give, you know, my mom and my dad, you know, all the glory for me being up here because, you know, before, you know, I had any potential at all, you know, my dad would bring me to the gym, coming home from work, you know, tired, you know, driving trucks all night, and then coming home from work and taking me to the gym and, you know, basically taking me all over international tournaments and buying hotels and rental cars and, you know, investing his time and money and, you know, not being able to, you know, be with my other siblings or come to their events because, you know, he was focused on me. So, you know, it's been a lot of sacrifice from, you know, not me, my family and, you know, my mother, my father, my siblings, you know, my coach and things like that. Back when I was an amateur and I wasn't making a dollar. So, you know, it's very humbling, and that's why I work so hard and I stay focused and stay dedicated because I know just as much time that I put in this and sacrifice, it's my family put in as much time and sacrifice a lot with me too.
Errol, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Hey, you said Mikey Garcia was gonna win too.
I did.
I told you I watch everything. I watch everything.
I'm flattered that you care.
I watch everything. I told you that. I told Mikey that I watch everything.
I asked this of Richard. The bottom line is the other PBC welterweights. You know who they are? Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner, and Keith Thurman. They all fought each other. They have not fought you. In your heart of hearts, based on tonight, do you think any of them will step up now? And what about the second part of the question, the specter of one Terrence Crawford?
I think they will because, you know, the money right now. Like I always say on Twitter, you always see me post tables turn. You know, a lot of these guys didn't want to fight when I was calling them out when they 13-0, and you look at all the YouTube videos with Sean Porter saying he's not looking at me. You know, he never wanted to fight me. He wanted to fight Danny Garcia and things like that. But now, you know, everybody energy changed, and now, you know, guys want to fight me and things like that because, you know, I'm turning into the money man.
So what about Crawford?
We can get there too.
Hey, EJ, congratulations to you, Derek, and Mr. Spence. How much fun were you having out there? Because it looked like you went to Orthodox for a second, if I'm not mistaken. I know you work on that in the gym. And was this the one-sided massacre you were looking for?
No, I was looking for the stoppage, but I mean, it didn't happen. But, you know, I was having fun in there. You know, I felt good, like I said, and, you know, just fighting at home and, you know, fighting in front of my family, friends, and, you know, my people from the city. You know, they was just, you know, it was great, and just having everybody come out and just a warm welcoming and, you know, coming out to, you know, local guys I grew up with, Yellow Bees and Trap Boy Freddie, and, you know, coming out with the Lancaster band, you know, so, you know, it was just great, just you know, getting that warm welcoming and just fighting in front of, you know, 40-some thousand plus of, you know, my fans.
Errol, Valencia King, KKVI BCTV, congratulations on the win. You just kind of touched on my question about the community support, but during the week you actually got to stand face-to-face with your supporters. What was that interaction for you like?
It was great. You know, just standing face-to-face with them, and, you know, I don't get mad, you know, especially with a lot of, you know, Spanish people from Dallas, you know, rep for Mikey Garcia and want Mikey Garcia to win because it's understandable. Like, I mean, you know, Mexicans have a lot of pride, you know, and they have a lot of pride in their flag and, you know, in their ethnicity. So, you know, I respect them for, you know, going with their guy, just like me. You know, Andre Ward fight Kovalev, I'm going for Andre Ward. I mean, like Terrence Crawford fighting Americano, I'm going for Terrence Crawford. I mean, I'm gonna go for my guys just like they're gonna go for their guys. So, you know, I respect them for that. And, you know, that was never distasteful. You know, of course, you know, sometimes I got booed and things like that, but it was never ugly or somebody saying something ugly and things like that. So, you know, I have nothing but respect for them, and hopefully, you know, I won them over as fans too.
And you may not consider yourself in the role model position, but you have young fighters that look up to you. What would you say so they can take that attitude of keeping that chip on their shoulder?
I just tell them never get complacent, because it's easy to get complacent, especially when you start earning money or start getting a lot of notoriety. And, you know, don't let, you know, stay with your feet on the ground, because, you know, when you're that top amateur and people are hyping you up and telling you this, and you win Prospect of the Year and you beat people easily, you know, you can always get complacent and you know, stop training hard, or you get more money. Like Marvin Hagler said, he said it's hard to wake up when it's hard to wake up when you got
sleeping on silk sheets.
Yeah, when you're sleeping on silk sheets. Yeah, on silk pajamas. So, you know, you have to keep that chip, or you got to keep that underdog mentality, and that's what I always keep the underdog mentality. Even if I know I'm gonna win, I know I'm gonna beat this guy easy, you know, I always, you know, psych myself out mentally where, you know, I just find a reason, either on YouTube or anywhere, I find a reason why, you know, I'm gonna train harder and focus and things like that. So that's why a lot of times when I'm fighting my opponent, I watch things that they say, and it just psychs me out, and it's like, man, I'm gonna punish this dude.
Hey Errol, congratulations. My question is, out of all the fighters out there, regardless of affiliation, who do you think is the one that's going to give you the toughest challenge?
See, I had to think too.
I don't think nobody. I mean, a lot of y'all thought me and Mikey was going to give me a huge challenge. I mean, y'all thought I guess I was just a big brute or something. Just come forward, you know, but, you know, I showed y'all a different element and, you know, a different game plan. So, I mean, I really don't know. Like, people like, is Mikey Garcia your hardest fight? I was like, on paper he is, but I really don't. You got to ask me after the fight because I really don't know till I get in there with him. So, you know, I don't know yet. I mean, the Westweight division is packed. I mean, you got Terrence Crawford, you got Sean Porter, you got Keith Thurman, you know, you got guys like Ugas, you know, you got a couple guys there, Danny Garcia. So, you know, it's packed and it's a loaded division. So, I mean, any of them fights can be tough, especially if you're not on your A game. So, you know, with me, you know, my job is stay on my A game, stay focused, and whoever I fight next is gonna be in trouble because I'm keeping my weight down now too. So I'm gonna have way more energy. I'm standing around 160.
Question for Derek. In what ways do you think Errol showed that he was the superior fighter regardless of size and weight and strength?
It was with the jab, it was the way he controlled the tempo.
Use the mic. Get the mic closer.
It was the jab and the way that he controlled the tempo. I listened to a lot of the interviews and I hear people say how intelligent he is and how great his timing is. And what I thought, and I said to myself, I said, just keep the jab in his face so he'll keep thinking. So he won't even get the opportunity to react because he'll have to deal with the jab in his face. And that was just like really the key element because if you keep him busy, he won't have time to think. He'll be worried about getting away from the jab and that's really basically what happened. I mean, the jab broke him down, and that was kind of it.
Errol, you were really loaded up at the end of the fight. The pressures was there any extra pressure in this being a pay-per-view fight and the way you performed in the ring and the way you want to put on a show differently maybe than other fights?
Oh, there was no pressure. Like I said, people have more pressure on you than yourself if you allow it. So, you know, with me, you know, we train hard. I was, you know, sparring 15 rounds and came going 30-second rest. Like I said, I sparred light heavyweights. You know, I rarely sparred welterweights. Like, it was hard for me to find somebody his size because, you know, a lot of those dudes I stopped. You know, I beat them up real bad. So, you know, I need somebody. If I'm gonna hit them, they're gonna hit me back. And I need the more intensity and the thinking more than, you know, sparring the little guy. So, you know, it wasn't hard at all.
You noted the very pro-Mikey crowd in a hometown fight. I mean, is that a chip on your shoulder now moving forward to make sure that, you know, the next time you fight here, it's a lot, you know, more of a pro Spence crowd than it is for the other guy?
I mean, it's like I answered before. I mean, I don't blame, you know, a lot of people, a lot of Spanish people and, you know, ethnicity. I mean, Texas, you know, we have a lot of Mexicans here, and like I said, Mexicans are, you know, very powerful. You know, they're proud of their ethnicity, and you know, they represent, you know, their people. So, you know, I can't get mad because, you know, a Mexican American supporting another Mexican American. I mean, that's their ethnicity. So, I can't get mad for the support.
And a lot of the Mexicans which were here tonight are going to be Spence fans. And it was not just him wearing the Mexican colors on his jacket, turn around, but I think with his performance tonight, he gained the Mexican fans as well.
Congrats again, man. Just like Richard just said, so does that make you the ultimate A-side regardless of who you see? You're the new Bob Posh, you're the new shot caller, now the new face of boxing, and is that mantle that Floyd left vacant when he walked away officially yours, or do you think you still need some work to do?
Oh, no, I still got work to do. I still have a lot of work to do, man. Still, you know, a lot of opponents in my weight class, still belts out there, you know. So I still got a lot of work to do. I still got to put on, more performances, more pay-per-view fights and things like that. So I'm not gonna say I'm the best out there right now.
Let's just hold on quickly. I want to ask Mikey up. Mikey is here, so you guys can ask Mikey questions as well. If you can maybe wait and sit down as well, so we can have both of these great warriors up here. As I said before, Mikey Garcia is and always will be a 4-division world champion. He's a great warrior. Tonight he really showed balls. I've never seen anything like it. A true warrior. And as I said in the end of the day, sometimes you reach for the stars, you dare to be great. Sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. But what is important that you try. Mikey Garcia. You want to say a few words?
Hey guys, what a show. It was great, great show. We had a lot of fans. I appreciate all the love and support. I fought hard. I tried to make history. I tried to move up in weight, and I thought I was going to be able to pull it off, and unfortunately it wasn't my way. I got to give credit to Errol. He had a great game plan. He used that jab, that distance. He knew how to control that very well. A few moments that I tried to make adjustments, he had something in return. So, he showed, great boxing. I tried to do everything I could to make my adjustments, but, just couldn't get it off. But I'm still very, very happy with the performance. I tried my best, and, we worked hard for this. I really wanted to win it, and, it just, feel a little bummed out I couldn't pull it off, but overall, it was a great experience, great show. Errol Spence is a terrific champion, the best in the welterweight division, very strong, and I'm just very happy that we were able to put this fight together. This is what boxing needs, two of the best pound for pound fighters fighting each other, and that doesn't come often, it doesn't happen often, so I was very happy that we could put this together. I'm sure all the fans we're watching in excitement, and all the people watching on pay-per-view, I'm sure they all also got a good treat from it, because it's not often that we get these type of fights, and that's what I want to give, nothing but great fights, and I think we succeeded at that. So I just want to say thank you everybody, for coming out. Anything else, we'll see what happens after this, but I thought it was a good show. Thank you.
You want to have a seat so the people can ask you questions? Or ask Errol questions? Go ahead, yes, please.
Question right here.
Mikey, this is Jaime with All Access Elite Boxing. My question to you is, you took this fight, as you stated, you fight for legacy. Your dream was to win 5 titles in 5 different divisions. You went and aimed straight at the best fighter, pound for pound at 147. Do you foresee yourself in the future potentially fighting a Thurman, a Pacquiao, or even a Crawford, or even a Porter for that matter, in hopes of achieving your dream?
Well, I'll go back right now, talk to my dad, my brother, and make a decision. Right now I don't have a decision made yet. I feel that there are other names that I could possibly get a title from, and I could still pull it off, but it wasn't possible tonight. We fought the best welterweight, the baddest man in that division, and we just couldn't pull it off. But we'll go back and see what options we have. I could stay at a lower weight class maybe, or maybe stay there and go after a different title.
Mikey, antes que nada, felicidades por el corazón enorme, no solamente tú, sino de toda tu familia. Un momento en donde tu esquina decía, ya no más. Sin embargo, el corazón de guerrero mexicano que tienes te hizo ir adelante. Te comento que las redes sociales estallaron en México y con los paisanos aquí en Estados Unidos. Hoy te respetan más a pesar de la derrota. ¿Qué significa que la raza te siga apoyando en las buenas y las malas?
No, gracias. Mira, en realidad yo estuve peleando lo mejor que pude, tratando de sacar la pelea adelante. Él es muy buen peleador, tenía muy buena respuesta para todo lo que yo quise hacer. Y entonces hubo unos rounds donde me conectó bastante, y pues sí, la esquina, para cuidar al peleador, pensó que a lo mejor era tiempo de parar la pelea, dije a mi hermano que no, yo estaba bien, no estaba lastimado, me conectó golpes, pues es boxeo, así es el boxeo, pero no me lastimó. Yo me sentía todavía con ganas de continuar y pues sí, el corazón, yo pensé que yo podía todavía sacar esta pelea y conectar un golpe y lastimarlo y sacar la victoria. Desafortunadamente no se pudo. Estoy contento de que todo mi público me ha respaldado bien, se llenó de mucha gente que vino a apoyarme y pues demostré que en realidad tengo para competir, para estar en estas divisiones, aunque no fue de mi parte, no fue de mi lado. A lo mejor hay otro campeonato que sí pueda conseguir más en el futuro. Ahorita no tengo planes todavía, pero eso lo veremos en un futuro cercano.
Y rápidamente, me dijo recientemente Lomachenko, y ya estaba para Robert y para ti, me dice, si están en 135, si vuelven a esa división, lo estoy esperando, la pelea que mucha gente quiere.
Sí, en peso ligero es la pelea más interesante, en realidad una pelea con Lomachenko será lo más grande. Espero poder conseguirla, en realidad esa es una pelea muy atractiva. Voy a ver qué se puede hacer para negociar esa pelea, porque sí es una pelea que el público ha pedido bastante ya en par de años. Pero como digo, no tengo planes todavía, no sé en qué división voy a estar. Hablo con mi papá, con mi hermano y pronto les daremos una respuesta.
You want to maybe quickly say that in English as well, since a question about what he thinks about the Lomachenko.
The first question, about the fight itself. I showed a lot of heart, and a lot of people now respect me a lot more for the way I fought and for going against the best. And honestly, like I said, I tried. I fought well. I fought hard. At one point, my brother mentioned, maybe it's time to call it a night, or he doesn't want to see me get hurt, and my dad also, but I wasn't hurt at any point like that. I got hit a couple, it's boxing, I got hit with a couple shots, it's the way it is. But I said, no, let me continue, let me fight through, I can still pull it off. I felt like I probably still could. I felt like I could have, one punch and maybe turn it around. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way. And then to the question about Lomachenko, I would love a fight with Lomachenko, but I haven't made a decision to come down to 135 just yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me sit back with my brother later and my dad, and we'll figure out what division I'm gonna come down. And if maybe I stay at 47, maybe I come down to 35. But at 35, that is the most interesting fight with Lomachenko, and I would love to take on that fight.
This is a question for Errol. This is World Breaker Fighting. My question is, pushing out all the politics and all the other things that are involved in boxing, what is it going to take to make you undisputed, to unify this division? A lot of fans are really clamoring for a unified 47.
It's just going to take everybody to cooperate. We got Porter, he say he wants to fight. And then we got Thurman, who has a belt. And then the most difficult fight to be made is Terrence Crawford's fight. So I don't know how that's gonna get made. It's for Bob to talk to my management, Al, and they come to agreement. But I think that the Manny Pacquiao Floyd fight was made. So I think that happened.
Congratulations, Spence, and this question is for Mikey. Were you surprised by Spence's power?
Look, he's got power. He does have some power. I felt like I was blocking a lot of the shots early on, and I was trying to give him trouble by not landing shots. But then he started picking up the pace a lot more, and it was hard for me to keep up that defense. So shots started coming through. Like I said, at no one point did he hurt me and stun me like that. But he does have power. I felt good though. I felt strong also. I felt like I could also hurt him possibly, but it just wasn't there. He was slick and he avoided getting hit. And by the time I would try to come back, he had more punches on top, and it was a good fight. He put up a very good fight.
Errol, I remember you told me in our interview that you were going to surprise people because you do box. You are a well-rounded fighter. Going back to that, Mikey, were you surprised by that he could actually have the angles? He had ring IQ. He was not just a brawler, he was also a boxer.
No, I wasn't surprised. I know he has all the skills. Like I said before, he reminds me of myself a lot, because he does everything very well. Very good footwork, good speed, distance, timing, he does it very well. And he had an answer to every adjustment that I tried to do. When I tried to put a little bit of pressure and walk forward, he took baby steps back, kept that distance, kept that jab out there, and it was working for him, He used his distance and reach very effective. And when I was trying to box on the outside, he knew how far to walk forward. He didn't get too close. He's very good. He reminds me of me. And he pulled off a great game plan, and he had answers for everything that I tried to do. It just wasn't, it's not that I was surprised. I knew he was going to be able to do this, and he pulled it off very well.
We're going to let Errol Spence go.
Yes, Spence is going to go. Mike can keep talking.
You had a question for Spence? Okay, this is the last question for Spence here, and then we're going to let him go. Go ahead.
Hey, Errol, most people consider Terrence Crawford the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and you the best welterweight in the world. And most people were clamoring to see that fight. After a hell of a performance today, people are going to be clamoring for even more. Are you willing to go to Terrence Crawford, Amir Khan fight, to put more pressure on Terrence Crawford to make that fight happen next?
No.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Can I go now? Mikey, can you talk about, I know you wanted this fight to be about legacy in regards to being a 5-division champion.
All right, hang on. Everybody hang on. We're still having a press conference, please.
Can you talk about the legacy, the legacy that's at play in regards to, forcing yourself to take on the toughest opponent and trusting yourself to, take the fight that may be uncomfortable, that your own, family is telling you not to. And we know that happens with promoters and television networks as well, of being your own boss.
Look, in order to leave a lasting impression, cement your name, you gotta go after the biggest challenges, the biggest fights. If I want to protect the record and just fight, contenders, just to make a quick paycheck and keep moving on and racking up wins, that's not going to be something to be remembered. I don't want that. That's not something that I wanted. I made it a goal of mine after my return to fight the biggest fights, the biggest challenges, so that people can appreciate, who I am as a fighter. And that's why I took on this fight. Like I said, I wanted to, establish that legacy. I was, trying to be great, and I think I just, feel that that's what a real champion needs to be doing, and giving, the greatest fights available.
Dare to be great. Dare to be great. That's what you did.
Hey, Mikey. Thank you. Hey, Mikey. You said that you saw something in Errol Spence that in a Mark Peterson fight that led you to believe that you could beat him. Was it different for you in the ring than what you thought that you saw? Did you see those same openings, or was it,
Look, I've always said, it's not that I saw something in his game plan or in his, holes in his game or anything like that. I just felt that I was better than him in everything that he did. And I tried to make the adjustments and try to work the way I believed I could. But he had an answer. Like I said, he had an answer to it too. Whenever I walked forward, he boxed on the outside, which I knew he could box. But I thought I was going to be able to do it quicker, and he just, had an answer, kept that distance. His height and reach, the southpaw stance always complicate things. I tried to make those adjustments, he just couldn't do it. He showed me that he's a better fighter, keeping that distance. I thought I was going to be able to, maybe get on the inside at times. And then I tried to box on the outside a couple of times, maybe counter. I landed maybe 1 or 2 counters on him, but it wasn't enough. He kept coming and at his distance. He wasn't getting too close to where now he's vulnerable. He knew what he was doing. I tried, I just couldn't. He's big and strong and kept coming with a lot of punches, and he just didn't give me the time. He had a good game plan.
Right here.
Hey, Mikey. Congratulations on a great effort. Strength and conditioning coach Mikey Showstone once said, when a fighter moves up in weight, he should stay there and not come back down. Do you think moving back down to lightweight to 135 would be in your best interest physically?
Look, even though I moved up in weight, I never ballooned up too heavy. I never went, got too big with muscle mass or anything like that. We just added a little bit of muscle mass so that I could be at welterweight for this fight. But even weighing in, I was at 45 and a half. I wasn't a big welterweight. I feel I can come back down to the lower divisions and perform great.
And it wouldn't